Wow. Good morning. I want to thank David for that song. It's one of my favorites. And just listening to the words kind of made me go back to writing this service because a lot of it tied back. And it was just very beautiful, very touching. Thank you. So, dry the eyes and let's get to it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about staying connected, and we're going to explore some of the challenges, opportunities, and blessings that happen while we're on our Christed path. So being on our Christed path, as metaphysicians, we simply understand that as being connected to our spirit, when we're following our guidance, and we just feel and know what is right. We have spirit moving through every aspect of our being and follow what we're told. So I think most of us try to do that every day. We try to connect, and listen to the guidance and do what we're led to do, but sometimes we lose that connection. We're not aware of our Christed consciousness. And I'm guessing now, but I think most of us came this morning with open hearts, open minds, and we were filled with love and light. And as we got here, we greeted our church family and got to talking with them and could feel their light moving into us, their energy. And just, we became overwhelmed sometimes with their emotion. And it just lifts us up. It reconnects us. And then Cindy prayed us in this morning and connected us to spirit. And that just lifted us even further. And now we're in a space that is just awe-inspiring. We know that we are on our right and perfect path in this moment, fully connected with people of like ideas, like mind, ready to experience life and all that it has to offer. So I think in this moment, don't you all feel pretty good right now? Pretty prayed up, pretty awesome, and like, hey, I can see you guys is radiating out. I mean, your auras are filled and bright and happy, okay? So we come here to InterQuest on Sundays to be spiritually fed, and we get these messages that inspire us and exhilarate, and sometimes it's self-examination, sometimes it's just awe, sometimes it's like, I knew that. Thanks for reminding me, And then, the service ends, and we're just all filled up with this energy, and it's time to go home, and we leave, and we hold on to that energy. We take it out into the world, that light. It may touch others. It may brighten their world for a moment. And that night, we crawl into bed, and the next morning, the alarm clock goes off. Monday morning. When you wake up, are you still full of that light? Still connected and ready to go to work? Or are you dreading all the tasks that lie before you? What has happened? Are you able to hang on to that energy maybe till Friday? Now, what about Thursday? Do you think you could hold on till Thursday? Wednesday? Halfway? Okay, let's try Tuesday. Can we hold the energy until Tuesday? Maybe. But more than likely, it's been a crazy week. The kids are doing this, you're doing that. The spouse, who knows, trying to keep up with them. And you wake up and you feel drained. You're disconnected and you don't have any energy to spare. You drag through the day. It's like, what is going on? You just experienced this wonderful, euphoric, energetic spirit-filled, happy, joyful, transformational event. Sunday, you were on cloud 9, walking out of here like, yeah, I own it, and look out, here I come. And what happens? Where did all that go? I don't understand it at times. We have to be aware of our Christed connectedness. And when we lose touch with that, we disconnect without even realizing it. We never see the transition. We never see the path leaving our side. We take that why and we start going down this path and don't know where we are. But when we do realize that we are divine, that we create our own happiness, we create our own world, we create love within each other and inspire those around us, that is when we are able to hold on to that connection. We can move mountains in that space. It's the power that enables us to walk our daily path, the connected spiritual energy that allows us to stay on our path. And if we are awake and aware to it and can hold on to that, all is possible. Now, this morning I ran out and didn't bring my Bible, so thank goodness I typed up the verses. So I'm just going to read this to you. It's Hebrews 4:12. For the word of God is living and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the point of division between soul and spirit, and between the joints and marrow and bones, and in this is a discerner of the thoughts of intent of the heart. Wow. It's the discerner of the thoughts of the intent of the heart. Now that's deep. It's a very powerful statement. And what is the intent of our heart? Do we connect each and every day and set our intentions before we walk out that door? And if you did, what do you think would happen? Do you think you'd have a perfect day? Everything would be wonderful. The birds are singing. It's the right temperature outside. And everything falls into line for you. Probably not. But I guarantee if you do connect and get on your path, it will be so much better. When we're on our path, we are able to see things that in a different perspective. We can see possibilities. We realize that we're supported in this connection. There's a spiritual support that connects all of us, and that energy flows through us. We remember when we're connected to ask for guidance. Oh yeah, help. Ask for help. We forget it all the time. Why? Because we're disconnected. Or maybe we become creative while connected. And when issues arise, all these wonderful thoughts and ideas come up with how to resolve them. It's like instantly and effortlessly, you know what to do in that moment in time. That energy runs through every aspect of our being. It is who we are. We just have to open up to it and become aware. Walking the path is a choice. It's a choice that comes from within. And it takes commitment. So if I were to stand here and say, you know what, I'm deciding right here and now, I'm no longer going to get distracted. I'm going to stay on my path, and I'm not going to worry about anything else going on in the world. How far do you think that's going to get me? Not too far, is it? Because I'm making it from a logical standpoint, a logical view. I'm looking at the outer and going, oh, well, this could serve me. If I stay on my path, I can do 1, 2, 3, and ABC is going to happen. It's perfect. But without a heartfelt commitment, we're not going to get anywhere. We have to go within. Being on the path is a journey that starts from within us. It takes time, it takes some effort, but I guarantee that if you put in the little bit of work that it takes, your life will change. So, many years ago, I came to a logical decision. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever made logical decisions before, but I definitely have. So this was a long time ago. I had just finished up my second divorce, and I thought, this is just crazy. I had been the main financial provider in both marriages, so I was working, taking care of things, but I couldn't get ahead. I couldn't provide for my children and give them what I really wanted to give them financially. So I started looking around at other couples and thought, okay, well, there's that one. Interesting. Okay. And another. Okay. Well, I'm kind of seeing a pattern here. A lot of these couples that have been together for a long time, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of love there. Interesting. And they don't talk to each other a whole lot. Okay. You know what? I think that could work for me. Oh, I've tried everything else. Wait a minute now. So, here I am. I've got 5 kids that I'm responsible for, okay? And I decide logically, why don't I want to meet somebody who could financially take care of us, who was, nice to us, and I could get along with them. That should work, right? What the heck? Sounded good to me. So, sure enough, I put that out. And I'll tell you what, it only took a couple months. And I met somebody. He seemed to be pretty nice. Got along, went out on a few dates. Next thing I know, he proposed to me. And I said, yes, let's do that. So I sold everything I had, except my clothes and my car. I quit my job, and the kids and I moved out of state and moved in with him. And I was like, okay. So the first thing he tells me is, I want you to stay home and raise the cattle. And I'm like, oh, I would love doing that. I love animals. I'm all in. That is wonderful. We found a large piece of land, He had 50 acres. He wanted 50 more. Found it. Great. We found home plans that we could agree on, and it's just this big house that we're going to build now on this acreage. We're picking out wedding invitations, about to send everything out. And I'm like, Charmayne, how silly have you been all this time? You could have done this years ago. It's working out so well. What the heck? All the suffering and pain and heartache you went through, that was crazy. Why did you do that? Well, I'm sure you all know the shoe or boot or whatever finally dropped. And he started asking me to do things that I didn't want to do. And they weren't unreasonable. You know, it was a relationship, and, you know, he wanted me to be there every night to cook his meal. He expected me to be home when he was home, not to go out and do my own thing, not to work, per se. I was kind of going to be at his beck and call. And for some reason, that just did not work for me. And it might work for some. It's fair. It's fair. It wasn't unreasonable, but it wasn't working for me. And in that moment, I realized, what the heck had I gotten myself into? Holy heck. I realized that without love in a relationship, there was no way that we could honor the choices, the needs, and desires of the other. It was never going to work. And after all of that, I knew it was going to be a challenge to start over, but I knew I had to, and I knew I would be okay because I could feel it within me. I reconnected. And this is what I really want you guys to hear, is that sometimes after making these choices, life-changing choices, when we are not on our path, we say, oh, heck, this is my life now. I'm stuck. And we just accept it and go on. But you don't have to. We can always make a change. It's okay. We're here to learn. That's what we come here for. And when something's not working for you, get back on your path. If it's not working, it's because you're off your path. You're not connected. You're not following your guidance. And then all of a sudden that cosmic 2x4 hits you upside the head and you go, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember what it felt like when I was connected, when I was doing what was the highest and good for me, for my soul, and how much I had dimmed now at this point. So when we decide to invest in ourselves, it requires commitment from the heart, from our higher self. And this is why walking our path starts as an inward journey. We do it through prayer, meditation, and mindfulness. When we reach this truth, the truth that it's up to us to decide what we want, possibilities and opportunities start opening up for us. The path takes on a new vitality and lifts you up. I want to read another scripture. It's Genesis 1:26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have domain over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the wild beasts of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." The opportunities that God lays before us are unmeasurable. But all we have to do is stay on our path. And those opportunities will come. They will come without effort. And now I know all of this sounds like a lot of work. It sounds great. You know, yeah, I'm in, but what do I got to do? Well, it doesn't take much. You can do this when you first wake up in the morning, before you even open your eyes. Ask to connect. God, I ask that your love and light fill me now. I ask that my higher self be fully present in my body, And I ask for clarity and guidance throughout the day to honor you and my greatest good. Now, how long did that take me? Not long at all. Do you think I'm connected? You've got to connect the heart, and you got to feel it. You can't just say it. But it doesn't take much effort to do this. And that's before your feet hit the floor. You are ready. And now, when I do this in the morning, oh my gosh, the possibilities for the day are unlimited. And when we're on that path, and we start to see the changes, after a few days of doing this, things kind of slide off your back a little easier. You're not so, the world doesn't seem so harsh. You're not so critical. And you start to feel a little more love moving through your life. And this is when we start to see and acknowledge our blessings. So when we're disconnected and off our path, it's really hard to see those blessings because we're not looking at what we have. We're looking at what we don't have because life is challenging us in that moment in time. We're looking for this big blessing to come in and save us, and it's not there. And we become disheartened when the whole time there are so many little blessings floating and surrounding us, supporting us that we never see, that we can't see when we are in this point. So Romans, this is the last one, Romans 15:13 says, "Now may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace, so that by faith you may abound in hope through the power of the Holy Spirit." Isn't that beautiful? What a blessing. So when we reconnect and get back on our path, we start to see those little blessings. We start to realize that our family and friends love and care for us. They go out of their way to do anything they can to help us when we're in need, or even if we're not needing anything. They call on us. You may pass a stranger, and they walk by and they just give you the best smile ever. That's so heartwarming. Or maybe something simple. You're sitting out and you're admiring this flower and you can smell the beautiful aroma coming off the bush, and then this beautiful butterfly lands on it. How wonderful nature is. What a gift. What a gift. Each one of those are blessings because they are gifts for you, to lift you, to fill your spirit and your soul. So a blessing is anything conducive to happiness or our well-being. Think about that. Think about how many small things happen to do that, to support us, to send love our way, that sometimes we don't catch because we're looking for that big blessing. Now, don't get me wrong, big blessings are wonderful and I love them, but it's those little ones that are transformational, that come day after day, that lift our souls, feed our spirit, and transform who we are. We become more loving, more caring, more compassionate. So I got something and I wanted to read it to you. Walking the Christed path is about embodying our divine qualities of love, compassion, and unity. It's an inward journey that connects us to our higher selves. We become beacons of love and light, illuminating the path of the collected awakening of humanity. So, you guys ready to go within and connect? So if you just take a breath and feel God's light moving over you, and just feel that connectedness moving into your heart, traveling down to the doorway of your heart. And as you get there, the door opens and you step into your garden, into this beautiful space that is always there to support you. And you move further into that garden. And there's a fountain in the middle. And by that fountain, there is a beautiful being there before you. It is your spirit waiting for you. Notice its shape, the beauty that it holds, the light that's shining around it. And as you move closer, you're finally standing in front. You can feel the love your spirit has for you. And slowly your spirit lifts up their arm and steps to the side, unveiling a path that runs from right to left. It's filled with light, beautiful. And there's a step there. And I want you to move up the step and now stand on that path. And I want you to turn to your left and look down that path. This is your history. This is where you have been. I want you to slowly move down that path to a time when you laughed so hard you cried. Do you see it? Feel the emotion that runs through that moment in time. The joy that filled you. The light heart. What a joyous event. And now I want you to move further down the path to a time when you spent outside looking up at the stars. The awe and wonder of seeing those beautiful twilight stars. How did your heart feel in that moment? The vastness of the universe lays before you. Hold on to this feeling. And now move further down the path to a point in time that someone helped you when you were in need. They offered openly and freely their time, their effort to help you with something you needed. How did you feel in that moment? Did you feel like you mattered? You were important, of value. What a beautiful blessing. All of these blessed your life and helped you to become the person that you are. And now you move back slowly to where you started. And you're standing there now looking to the right, to your future. The path is brightly lit before you, shining, sparkling, full of energy and unlimited possibilities. This path has not been explored as of yet, but is yours to create, to choose, to expand upon. Feel the love that your spirit gives to you. Know that you are supported and connected in this moment in time. And if you choose, you always will be. Send your love and gratitude to Spirit. Thank them. And now it's time to come back through your garden, back through the door of your heart. Take a breath and feel yourself in your seat and wiggle your toes and fingers. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Our path is the key to unlimited possibilities in our lives. So if something is not working for you, connect, get on your path, ask to hear guidance clearly, and see the changes happen before you. Thank you. Yay, God.